Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pash On Podcast. Let's get started with your host, Brian Pash.
Hi, this is Brian Pash, and welcome to another podcast interview. On today's show, we have Leez May. She is the Chief Experience Officer at TotalCX, and her title is perfectly aligned with one of our themes this year at the Modern Retailing Conference, which is elevating the customer experience. Leez, welcome to the podcast. This is the first time you've been on our show.
Yep, first time I've been on any podcast, actually. So I'm really excited to speak to you.
Well, I'm so glad because we have a lot to unpack today, especially as we've seen the evolution of Interactive Tel rebranded as TotalCX, implying that the platform is doing much more than just call measurement or scoring or tracking, but helping dealers improve their customer experience, their employee experience. So let's start at the very fundamental description. If somebody is not aware of the core platform of TotalCX, if you're on an elevator and a dealer gave you a minute to explain what you do, how would you answer?
I would say that I work for a company that their focus is customer experience, and we have a platform. And of course, our products and solutions are more than just the platform. But where dealerships look for call tracking solutions and click to call, our platform is really more, we track all calls. We have keyword libraries. It's an AI driven software. So we're picking up sentiment, keywords, keyword tracking. We have instant alerts that alert managers to calls that may need assistance. We highlight any calls that have missed opportunities where, an appointment wasn't set. We help a dealership understand a customer and also be able to, in real time, understand what is happening in your dealership on those calls with those customers at every department, including not just sales, but service, which is probably one of the most important departments in a dealership.
Leez, you bring up some of the new breakthroughs that AI and voice to text and text recognition, understanding sentiment, missed opportunities. This is a data-driven strategy helping dealers turn their transactional sales process into opportunities for improvement. So when you sit down with a dealer after a few weeks on the platform, what are some of those consistent aha moments that dealers say to you, Leez, I would have never had imagined, and you fill in the blank. What are some of those early aha moments when you help a dealer move to a data-driven technology strategy that shows them gaps in their sales process?
I think it's, even more than just those gaps. It's really saying, wow, I didn't realize, first point of contact into our dealership sounds like this. Or that, oftentimes and more often than not, these calls are not getting through to an agent. We're able to see clearly when that happens now and understanding, wow, we've had these many missed opportunities, and actually putting processes in place or even using our system to, align, especially if you use our hosted phone system. You can make sure that no calls are dropped, that they're always going somewhere. If they don't reach an agent, they're going back to the receptionist. But
yeah, so Leez, you bring up something. When a dealer wants to truly transform their customer experience, from my perspective, the number one channel in which dealers do business is the phone. So oftentimes dealers have antiquated phone systems, a mix of phone systems, tracking of some lines, not tracking of other lines. But TotalCX can come in and put in new physical phones plus the software infrastructure. Is that the ideal solution? Modern phones, every line tracked, all conversations analyzed. Is this a breakthrough then for a dealer who says, I want to fix all the gaps in my sales process? I want to work towards a better measured customer experience. Are the physical phones just as important as the software?
They're extremely important because of exactly that. Having a phone on your desk and even the software to track those phone calls is one thing, but to have the combined hosted PBX where you set up all the call queues, IVRs, pretty much anything your heart desires at the automotive dealership to make sure that a customer reaches somebody. Having those physical phones and the backing of those platforms, and then having that connected to our data platform that analyzes all calls is extremely important and extremely effective in not only, again, understanding customer experience, but training your employees, understanding your employees. There's definitely, if you can see whether an employee is a happy employee by the way they speak to your customer. And the phone is the most important way to track.
Yeah, I want to dig into that a little bit. We talk about the customer experience, but it's very difficult for a dealer to deliver an outstanding customer experience if their employees are overwhelmed, undertrained, frustrated with the process. One of the things that we talked about prior to today's conversation is that dealers are telling you that the feedback loops from TotalCX's platform is helping dealers have a better employee experience. Can you talk into that a little bit? How are you helping dealers create the right environment for their employees?
I feel that employees not only do management learn from the call data and just listening to the calls, and in fact, our instant summaries give a snapshot into what happens on the phone call. So that creates a learning opportunity from the dealer perspective and the employee. Sharing that data, sharing the call with them, giving them examples of ways they've handled calls, or asking them, why did you handle it this way? The way you approached the customer, was there a reason you approached it this way? And you can actually get to the point of, do you need help with, the sales approach and things like that. And what I feel with dealerships, there's a lot of pressure for sales, and that pressure you can hear it in a salesperson by how they pressure a customer. So, actually, that also teaches a manager maybe how to better manage the employees using that data.
Yeah, recently I did some mystery shopping for one of my customers, and I put in my name and phone number. I don't make up names. And the first call I got from this dealership, and I just requested a price. They're like, "Hey, I see you were interested in, this vehicle. Do you want to come in at 2:00 this afternoon?" I was like, "Whoa!" That was like speed dating, right? They did not take a moment to introduce themselves. They didn't ask any probing questions to build any rapport. They just went right to, "Hey, would you like to come in this afternoon?" And I was like, "Wow." That really didn't feel right. It felt rushed, almost like this person had to get through these leads as quickly as possible. Check the box. This is some of the example, Leez, that the platform would point out to managers that they're not following a normal, let's just say, greeting and script.
Right. And, often the way we look at training, especially sales agents, is really the psychology of it, and to really get them more. It's changing the paradigm, which is, I know, something that Gary loves to use, and I love saying that because it truly is that. You can't really teach somebody how to treat a customer by using scripts. So it's really teaching them how to understand, listen, understand what your customer is asking or saying, and then how to respond to that, and really getting into the listening. It really is the listening and understanding. That really, I feel, allows sales agent to serve that customer better and learn how to do that as they deal with customers going forward, and the reaction from the customers too. And yeah, I do. I believe it's all in that psychology. You can't just tell them, hey, read this, because not every situation can be scripted.
Well, one of the things that I've been writing a lot about is the breakthroughs in platforms like yours that when a dealer cleans up their phone system, every line is being tracked. Not only do you spot gaps in process or gaps in customer experience, now we're able to connect those call outcomes into marketing. And TotalCX has been a founding member of the Automotive Standards Council. I love the fact that every call that is determined as a sales opportunity or a service opportunity or a parts opportunity, those call outcomes are being sent into Google Analytics to link with a Facebook campaign or a Google campaign or a email campaign. And Leez, this is a big breakthrough, because all dealers had before from their website is someone click the call. They didn't know if the call connected. They didn't know what the call was for. They didn't know what the call outcome is. Now that TotalCX will transform any web-based campaign call back as an outcome, that's a breakthrough. And so the question is, when someone signs up for TotalCX, is support for Google Analytics built into the platform, or do they need to purchase a specific package to make sure those call outcomes are going into GA4?
That I would have to check on. I'm not 100% sure, but generally that would be part of the platform. We don't bill separately for something that is necessary, and that actually falls in line with what our platform does.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I know that your customers, because some of our shared customers use your platform. What I'm telling dealers is there is no excuse in 2023 not to have a competent call tracking platform in place, because the number one way in which consumers convert from online marketing campaigns, email campaigns, is the phone. And now with the right phone outcomes into GA4, they can finally optimize their Google Ads campaigns. When Leez, I look at training, because each year we're still trying to develop consistency in phone process. Dealers have a high turnover rate. In the BDC, it seems that it's very tough to get people to come to the dealership, and more people are liking to do remote work. So I was really excited to hear about your new product, the TotalCX Contact Center software, which is a cloud-based contact center software that an agent could be working from their home, taking inbound calls from the dealership, have all the integration into your platform, into the CRM. Can you talk to us a little about that? Because maybe dealers who have been struggling with getting people to come in every day would really like to see having more virtual agents, US based, in their local market. They know the area, but they'd prefer to maybe work 4 or 5 hours or work from home. Tell us about the new web-based BDC software.
Sure. Yeah, it is being web-based. It does allow staff members to work from home. This opens up the door to so many more prospective employees, instead of, almost having to, and not to say that the people in the area aren't wonderful, but like you say, turnover. If someone's able to work from home, and say they are 2 hours away from where the dealership is, maybe it's even an hour, not having to drive in, firstly, is makes an employee happy, more time with their family. Again, like you said, shortened hours if need, like shortened work days if needed. But having everything in that contact center that feeds into our platform as well, that can actually make them feel like they're actually at the dealership making those phone calls. And it gives them insight into what is going on. They can see who is online, who's available, who isn't. They don't have to be in a physical store to see all of that. And then again, managers on that side, they can see who's online, what calls they've taken, with respect to the BDC agents, what is going on with those calls, call volume, all of that in one place. So really, you don't need to be in person anywhere to be able to work efficiently. And this contact center software is the best I've seen.
Well, Leez, one thing that I know for sure, and it's been proven over and over again, there are periods of the day where there's a spike in calls, and it's hard to scale for spikes. But let's just say that lunch, from 11 to 1, there always seems to be a spike in calls, when people are also going out to lunch and other things. Maybe a spike of calls in the early morning. It's much easier to find some work at home moms or dads that, hey, I need to make a little extra money. Hey, could you, work 11 to 1 and, do that every day? It's like, I can put a couple hours in. I mean, people are doing it for Uber just to make some cash. They do a few hours. This opens up solutions for dealers who know they have spikes, but then the rest of the day, the normal staff can fit in. So I love the fact that you're bringing in new utility to your call management and call tracking to give scalable human interaction. There's products out on the market, Leez. Last time I checked, you had Brook AI, Stella AI, and I know that they work with your systems. What do you see as the future of dealers with a mix of people and AI? I would say automated attendant. What's the future look like for some of your clients that are experimenting with better routing with real people, or 24/7 scheduling with AI chatbots, basically?
Well, I think that honestly depends on the customer. I think a diverse mix of all of those things is really where dealerships should be focusing. I know that if I go online or if I call in somewhere and I have to speak to a bot and it doesn't quite understand what I'm saying, I know it's getting more advanced. And sometimes you don't even know that it's actually a computer, that it's AI. It sounds like
Right.
a person. Yeah, they can listen to your question and actually give a true response. And that's really incredible. But there's the delay before the AI actually responds. So it seems, so you could feel that disconnect, that it's not that you're talking to a real person. And often to really answer our questions, we need that real person. I think as long as they don't take it too far and have the AI pretty much take care of the entire phone call, and they do have that bridging of the gap where, okay, the AI couldn't help, so they pass them on to a real person. I think that's a great way to go. And it takes the pressure off of the actual person that is answering calls.
Yeah, I think, if somebody wants to, schedule a quick oil change or a recommended service, I think, the AI digital voice assistants can be very effective, especially if there's some marketing campaigns going out, for those type of services. But I do know when things get a little more complicated, it's better to talk to a real person. And that's why I love the idea of excellent call routing based on history, and now this expanded BDC software where virtual agents, local people working from home, could help the dealer handle those call management needs. Leez, when we look at the entire platform and understanding that phones are the number one way in which consumers do business with car dealers, having a robust solution now integrated completely into GA4 makes sense. But let's talk about a dealer who is on the fence. They have maybe an outdated phone system. They've tried call tracking software in the past, primarily for training, and didn't find success. What do you tell a dealer who knows that they need to make the investment, but they're afraid to pick the wrong platform?
What we do is we go through not only the ease of use, but of our platform, but the different features of our solution that can help a dealership. And we can set up reporting or the dashboard that the manager can sit and watch and see things happening in real time. If in the past, if they used call tracking providers, that maybe if there is an alert and it arrives 2 hours late, it's 2 hours too late. It's 1 minute too late, really. With our software, they don't have to do a lot. We can set up the dashboard. They can have it open all day long. They can go and check in on what's going on in the dealership just at a glance. And again, if a call goes wrong, they can get real-time alerts. So they're alerted immediately to their phone, and they're able to either go and help the agent while they are on the phone, or they can get with the agent or call the customer back immediately after a call goes wrong if they've already hung up. That is just so invaluable. Them being able to save their customers, showing them how all of our things are real-time or instant summaries, being able to look at a phone call at a glance, know what happened. That is priceless. That's unheard of, I know, right now. And I feel like that's so valuable. But not only that, I know that in a lot of cases, dealerships, like you had mentioned previously, have antiquated phone systems. If they want a call tracking provider, they may not be able to use it on their current system. So, often they'd have to go to another vendor for a phone system, where we have everything in-house, all inclusive, all in one solution. We have the hosted phone and the platform all included, and all included in the price. So there's one bill.
Love it, Leez. One other thing I want to tell dealers and marketing managers that are listening here, I don't care how big or how busy your dealership is, but if you are not tracking call outcomes into GA4 to optimize your Google Ads campaigns, I would say that feature alone could pay for your phone system and platform cost. Because remember, without having the call outcomes into GA4 to optimize your Google Ads campaigns, if a dealer's spending 10, 15, 20,000 a month on Google Ads campaigns, that alone, you could see a 30 to 40% increase in performance when you start telling Google which keywords, which ad placements, which videos, which contextual ads generated the phone calls that were generating sales opportunities. So do not think of a robust platform like TotalCX as a cost. It actually is revenue generation, as Lee said, client saving, and marketing optimization all in one package. Leez, if a dealer wanted to get more information or set up a demo of TotalCX, where would they go?
They can go to our website at totalcx.com, or they can contact sales@totalcx.com.
Man, it couldn't be any easier than that. Leez, thanks for being on today's podcast. I think you've made it very clear that having one platform that analyzes every phone call, sentiment, opportunities, gaps in sales process, training opportunities, and now marketing optimization is absolutely worth a look into. This conversation is part of our series on the road to MRC. This year, one of those key themes is elevating the customer experience, modern technology and AI to give dealers a competitive edge, and TotalCX checks all three boxes. So if you haven't registered for the Modern Retailing Conference, go to modernretailingconference.com, get your tickets, book your hotel. The event sells out. Every year, it's an intimate networking opportunity with high-end education and a chance to sit down with the team at TotalCX. But don't wait until November. As Lee said, go to TotalCX.com and get a demo. Upgrade your customer experience and your employee experience with a data-driven technology strategy. Leez, I want to thank you and Gary and the whole team at TotalCX for supporting dealer education. Is your team excited for MRC?
So excited. I plan on being there as well. We're gearing up for it. We are. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's always so valuable to attend your events because they align with what our vision is.
Well, I'm so glad that we have members of the vendor community who like to support great dealer education. If this is the first time you're hearing one of my podcasts, you should know that I have dozens of podcast interviews with industry leaders, technology visionaries, and people who are helping dealers to elevate the customer experience. So just search for the Brian Pash Podcast on your favorite podcast channel. And I hope you will get your team registered for the MRC, because we're not going to be talking about things that, well, people have been talking about for the last 2 years. We're going to be talking about the things that only a few of the bold, innovative dealers in our country will be exposed to, giving them a competitive edge for the next year. So don't miss it. Thanks for taking your time with us today, and I'll catch you again on a future podcast interview. Thanks for listening.